this was.
Hi everyone, it's Erin and it's Saturday night and I'm reading a letter here dated September 23rd. It's from a church, United Church in Toronto, Canada, and it's about a hot news topic in the United Church about a woman named Greta Vosper, and she is an atheist. And this is a letter that's written to the congregation that was forwarded to me. And when I get a long letter like this, I like to record it because that's a good use of time, and I think it's a hot topic at the moment. So here we go.
Hey, babe, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Can I just ask you a quick question? You said she's an atheist, but why is that a big deal?
Okay, the person who sent me this letter and information has been telling me about this atheist minister in the United Church for a while, and I just kind of shrugged it off and thought it was stupid, and I thought, why is this even a discussion? I can't even believe it. But the United Church, I mean, just the name United. She says it's from Methodists and they all got together, and it's a big thing in Canada, the United Church. Like, that's what I went to, was a United Church when I was in Canada.
So they have a minister that's actually an atheist.
I can't believe it
An
either.
atheist minister. My goodness.
I can't believe it. They have her and they're like trying to get rid of her, but they can't even seem to get rid of her. So this is kind of a long article a message from the pastor there at the United Church in Toronto, written to his parishioners. And I'm going to read it because I think you should be aware how far off the cliff the church has become.
My goodness.
Yeah, okay, so here it goes. It's called The Weekly Reflection, and it's by a pastor. Okay, about 20 years ago, I had an opportunity, though a brief fellowship award at the National Cathedral College of Preachers in D.C., to write a paper about, more or less, precision of identity in the United Church of Canada, on the premise that it is our famously vague doctrinal life, an antidote to rigid fundamentalism, that makes us attractive to many, with the risk that if we were to slide off the far end of that scale, we would functionally have no reason to exist, with nothing left to proclaim. I had never heard of Greta Vosper, but fully expected that at some point, which turns out to be this week, our willingness to stop before we tumble into a void would be tested. If you're not familiar with Greta Vosper, this link can fill you in a bit, and there is no lack of coverage this week as the slow wheels of progress to review whether one can be both an atheist and a United Church minister resulted in a recommendation to end her ordination. Appeals, petitions, and bake sales will let it drag on for a time yet. But thoughtful men and women, ordained and lay volunteers, have concluded that there is a reason we exist, and no matter how much we couch it in mystery and humility or doubt, the desire to relate to and teach about a presence of God meditated in Jesus is the bottom line for a church. For this church, it is, and we are simply not reducible beyond that point. I am enormously impressed with Greta, her intellect, her conviction, and her intention to seek wisdom in the wide array of human literature. I commend her books to you. They capture the essence of a thoughtful exit from the church, and so there is much to learn. But they are exactly that, an exit from the church. One of the writers I read with great interest during that fellowship years ago was Shirley K. Guthrie, who proposed that we, the churches, live in what could be understood as an identify relevance quandary. In an effort to be relevant and meaningful to an increasingly broad world, we dilute our specific identity as Christians, and we can't have it both ways. For the longest time, it was no contest. The God Jesus narrative was unassailably in the Western culture, and there was a big, fat, happy zone in the middle of that tension. People knew we were more or less about God and Jesus, and nobody had a problem with it, and there were lots of members to go around. Identity and relevance met happily and broke bread. Now, of course, precise identity lives at one end, fewer and fewer people feeling the need to cast in stone any doctrines, and relevance lives several blocks away. More and people understand, and people understand that living in and intimately engaged with the Word can happen without the church, and the sky doesn't fall on them. Greta's congregation will, I expect, stay loyal to her and leave the United Church. There is a place for such communities. They may still call themselves a church, though that would be disingenuous. Meanwhile, nothing is lost from the deep and long tradition of united churches promoting critical thought, meaningful dissent, innovative versions of Christianity, and serious engagement with the realities and wisdoms of the world. It will just be a much smaller slice of the population that can live in that spot. A place of clear identity as a people seeking and following Jesus, and the capacity for humility of doctrine and endless wonder. This congregation, I fervently believe, is such a place, and I am eager to see where this will next take us. Keep the faith. So, I'm just curious what you all think of this, because I don't really know what to say at this point. An atheist minister.
Well, we've got lesbian ministers and gay ministers, and now we got atheist ministers. Well, pretty soon we'll have a satanic minister. I mean,
Well, they do have the satanic, what do they call it?
I don't
Do they
know.
call it a church? A satanic?
I don't recognize the world I grew up in.
I don't either. Okay, guys, have at it in the comment section. I'm really eager to hear what you have to say, and I can't even believe we're discussing this, but yeah, go for it, and then I can share it with the congregation up there.